Yes! Yes! Here we are! We're live, we're nervous, we have a beverage. It is Saturday, little ones. Hello and welcome, foolish mortals, to another random live stream. We have some things to discuss, but first I want to say hello to everybody because there is so many of you here. Hello everyone. Hello everybody. Maya, hi. Step, I'm so glad you're here. We have stuff to discuss. The last stream was excellent, I agree. Lily the cat, what's up kiddo? How you doing? Derek Langley. Sink deeper. Just GKS is in the building. Hello there, how are you? I was hoping to talk to you soon as well, GKS, regarding your sculptures. Also, I saw on Google earlier that it is apparently National Sculpture Day. So a big shout out to Just GKS, who is probably the best sculptor I know. Especially when it comes to Little Nightmares content. Heaven Robinson, what's up? How you doing? I'm glad you can make it. House of Nightmares, hello. Can I ask you when the Lost DLC episode will drop? Ooh, now that's coming up, but there's been a bit of a delay because my artist has had to take a little bit of time off. So in order for me to edit the video, I need to edit in the monster. And my artist is drawing my monster, and without her finishing it, I can't finish the episode. So it has been a little bit delayed. I'm sorry about that, but there are a couple of other things that are coming in, but it is coming up. I couldn't tell you exactly when, though. It all depends on her, and with it being a personal matter, I don't want to pry too much and be rude and be like, you know, hey, I know you've got real stuff going on, but where's my picture? You know, it's not cool, man. So also, I've just had a haircut and I still have hair in my eyes, apparently. Step. Let me just read that real quick. The forest in episode 1 and 2 aren't the same forest. Episode 2 has pine trees, so this isn't the wilderness. So whose glitching remain is the one in the wilderness chapter underneath the log in the cave? The toddler wasn't dreaming. The claws were real, but he got saved by the ferryman. Ooh, you know what? You know what? Stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I've had some similar thoughts and I put them to paper recently, and you're going to see them soon, and it surrounds exactly that. So stick with me for that one. I can't say too much because spoilers, but you're on the right track. Let me just say that. Who's laughing at my giggling? That's my menacing laugh, I'll have you know. Nate Productions, what's up? Nate X Productions arrives into the stream of the nowhere. Indeed, Nate does. Nintendo Gamer Kid, I made a presentation for my theory. Is there a way I can share it? You can try posting a link in the chat. I don't know if YouTube will let you. It's completely out of my hands whether or not it'll actually show up so people can click it. Failing that, join the Little Nightmares Discord. Doesn't matter which one, preferably the one that's run by It's Just Jord, because if you post that, he has a content creators section, and you can literally just copy and paste it in there, and then anybody who's even remotely interested in the Little Nightmares universe will be able to find your content. So if it won't let you put it in my chat, join that Discord server and pop it in the content creators channel, because then everyone will get to see it. What's up, Idiotic Bookworm? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Yes, it is. What's cooking? Probably meat. Meat and fish. I've just eaten fish, actually. I had some salmon after the gym. It was beautiful. Very, very nice indeed. Take-home environment and the atmosphere is what draws me into the nowhere. I just want to get lost in this world of nightmares. You know, it's really strange. I had a dream that I was in the nowhere the other day, and I was with Roger, I know it's really weird and this is hyper controversial because of the whole nice janitor theory thing, but Roger was actually all right. He was a pretty cool dude. You know, he was just living in his house. He just had like a big rustic style house with not very much furniture, and I was just going around like sweeping up for him. I don't know why. It was such a bizarre dream. Oh, I bought snacks. What did you buy? What snacks? What snacks did you get? I want snacks. Mutter Steak, hello there, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you before, unless you're a familiar face who's changed their name, because I know a lot of you guys do that. JK Mal, what's up, King? Jem, can I tell you a bit about the book I'm writing? Yeah, please do, feel free. Drop some lore. Cloudy J, hi, how are you? It's really hard to see that profile picture, but is that Spoon Girl? Also, sorry if I keep leaning off camera. I haven't got like my setup is rather amateurish at the moment because I'm like trying to move things around. Also, I'm blurring. Stop blurring. Damn it, camera. Yes, there we go. It's also because I have a light in the background now. You can see that back there. It's sort of like aurora light. So it's got like red and blue and it's all mystical and cool and ethereal and nowhere-y, and I like it very much, but you can't really see it with the lights on. But I've got it on anyway. Please appreciate my light. Saya, hello there. Allison29, what's up? How are you? Glad you can make it to the stream. Hi there, hello. Runaway Cobra, of course Gemini streams after I have a nightmare. Well, was it a nightmare about me? Eating too many lollipops. Oh god, I want a lollipop as well. I'm so hungry. I'm on a diet at the moment. This is Coke Zero, by the way. Cherry Coke Zero with ice. And this is like my secret weapon to get me through this diet because I'm in like such an aggressive calorie deficit. It's beating me to death. You are the only Little Nightmares YouTube wife. Oh, House of Nightmares, that's really kind of you to say. I really appreciate that. I promise you, though, I'm not the only Little Nightmares YouTuber. There are several of us that are worth watching, I promise you. I actually want to talk about a couple of them today, and there's actually a few of them that are in the chat right now. Just GKS being one of them. Please tell us what we missed. I will, but I don't think you will have missed it. In fact, a lot of you guys won't have missed what I'm actually referring to. But there's a couple of things that we're going to discuss today, and we're going to be here for a couple of hours. Oh, JK Mal, you absolute legend. What a king, leaving me a nice little dono in the chat. I'm giving that a love out. Thank you so much. That's massively appreciated. And they were one step. Oh yeah, also that little counter that you guys see at the top there. That's a kind of semi-new feature that YouTube have introduced, where they can you can set a target, and then if you hit that target's worth of donations during your stream, then you have to do like a you don't have to, but you can do like a celebration or a what's the word? Like a sacrifice, kind of. A sacrifice. I'm not going to sacrifice anyone. Or maybe one of you. I don't know. You've got to do like a forfeit or something like that. And I said that if we get 5 donations, I will try the Hard to the Core achievement right here, right now, in front of everybody. I probably won't succeed, but it'll be hella entertaining because I get mad. Like, I get really mad when I play challenges. Mr. Tibbs, what's up, my brother? How are you? Greetings, Mr. Gemini. How's it going and how are we all doing? Mr. Tibbs, it's great to see you in the chat. I'm really glad you can make it. Feel free to tell everybody about your recent holiday. Steph, I never get Little Nightmares dreams, which is strange since I eat, drink, and live. Yeah, I know, right? I thought that I would dream about it a whole lot more, considering how much I actually think about it. It's like permanently in my subconscious, so I don't know why it's not constantly there, but I don't know. Deer Teeth. That's an interesting name. I actually had a nightmare about deer the other day as well. I'll tell you guys about that if you want. Deer Teeth, thank you for reminding me of this awful dream I had. Snacks? Snacks? Where? Somebody get me... Come here. Yeah, honestly. Chips, cola, the normal stuff, great call. Great call. Jacob, hey, I have a theory that the kids lost their memory in the nowhere. Let me explain. Please do, Jacob, because... this is something else that I want to talk about. And it pertains to something that I am going to be releasing later this year that I'm hoping to expand on a little bit with you guys, because I think you, especially you guys in particular, the people that love Little Nightmares and like me and like to consume my content and stuff, so fans of the channel and fans of Little Nightmares, I think you'll be really interested in what I've got coming up. I'm sorry that it's taking so long. It is like a really big endeavour, and it's not just me, there's like a team of us working on all these different projects, but there's one of them in particular that really does speak to Jacob's theory just now, that the kids in the nowhere lose their memory, because I think so too. About the Six is the lady thing. Why the hell is the lady trying to kill Six at the end if she is her child's self? Yeah, I know, right? A little bit strange. There's a lot of like Six is the lady theories going around, and I can see why they've spawned. But the more you look into it, the less it seems to make sense. And until anything is or is not confirmed, we don't really know, and we can't say with any level of certainty. But everything's a possibility until spoken otherwise by the developers. So I don't know. It's fun to think about. Also, when I fired up Little Nightmares the other day, just while I was collecting some footage, I noticed something that I never noticed before. It was kind of weird, but you can have a lady mask for Six. And most of you guys will already know that, because I bet you guys actually play the game more than I do. So I don't play it that much, which is really surprising. You would think that I'm like a god tier player and I can just hard to the core every single time I play because I'm so good. I'm not. I don't even have that many hours racked up. I think about it permanently. It's constantly on my mind, and I'm always researching it. I'm always thinking about it. I'm always watching it and gathering this footage and talking to people and theorizing and speculating and sharing observations. But it's so very rare that I actually play the game. Is that just me? Is anybody else like that? I don't know. I seem to think about it 24/7, but I don't play the game all that much. Yeah, so pretty light. Thank you, Cloudy J, for recognizing my lights. Detective Gamer Treg, welcome. Hello there. How are you? You were in real early today. This isn't much of a theory, but in episode 1 of The Sounds of Nightmares, Ruth talks about screams coming from a building. Could that possibly confirm that the nowhere has been taking kids for a long time? Well, I think it definitely has. I think the nowhere has been around for a very, very long time, and I don't think time works linearly either. So it's like, I think that we see a strange mixture of things that are ancient and then things that are relatively modern, all like blended and spliced in some haphazard Frankenstein universe that's brought of all the children's minds, which is another topic that I'm going to expand on a little bit, because I think that the nowhere itself wasn't created as we see it, kind of, or more like it's created exactly as we see it. I think that the nowhere itself is given form by the people who are dragged into it, and that's why they have to pass through a threshold first, so that the nowhere can like essentially read their minds and like strip them down to the very bare bones of their subconscious and pull all of their nightmares, all of their fears, their phobias, their insecurities, and then utilize that data and use it to build a world around them. And it creates this like environment that they have to escape from, and that's how we end up with places that are so strange and bizarre and just don't seem to fit. Like, they don't make any sense. But they would do. Like, the same as my dream about Roger. The whole dream didn't make any sense. And why would it? It was a dream. It was completely nonsensical. But in the dream, it made perfect sense. I knew exactly what I was doing, exactly why I was there, and exactly who I was surrounded by. And it only made sense in the dream. The same as the nowhere only makes sense when you're in it. And I think it makes sense because it's created by the people that are in it. I'll give you an example of why I think that. Notice on the moor, none of it is built for you. Six wakes up in a briefcase and you sort of go crawling around and you notice that everything is oversized. The chairs are huge, the beds are huge, everything is enormous, and it's just not really built for you. But why are there tiny little ladders in really convenient places You know, like, because one could argue that they're there for the gnomes to get around and stuff, and yeah, that could be a point. But I think that they are there because Six's subconscious created them. The reason she's able to navigate the mall so seamlessly and get to everywhere she needs to get to is because these things are placed there for her convenience by her subconscious. You know, like, there is absolutely no reason for there to be a tiny little ladder running up the outside of the mall leading exactly to the guests area, which just so happens to parallel the ladies' quarters. Don't you find it peculiar that there are some things like let's take the hospital for instance. You know, the big electrical sockets where you have to solve a puzzle to the lift doesn't work, you have to solve the puzzle, so you have to find the power cells and plug them in. Isn't it strange that they're all your height? Why are they not adult height? Surely if they were built for the adults to use, the doctor, he spends most of his time on the ceiling. Why would he create puzzles, or power cells that would necessitate him getting down on the ground to navigate them? It's like all of these places are built with us in mind. They're not for us, but they accommodate us in a strange way, don't you think? You know, I just thought that something to throw out there for the moment. But I'm going to jump back into chat because I can see a lot of you guys talking to me and I'm being very ignorant because I'm just gas bagging over here. Cherry Coke is peak, couldn't agree more. Nikki Gibbs, what's up? Guys and gals, hello there. Also, if you're asking about a profile picture, it's Korean manhwa. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Manhwa called Debut or Die or D. I'm sorry, my pronunciation's going to be miles off there because there's so many interpretations of that. But thank you. It kind of looks like Spoon Girl from the Little Nightmares 2 comic series. Oh, Mr. Tibbs, not too bad. A Resi content creator also in the chat too. Yes, indeed, Mr. Tibbs is in fact a Resident Evil content creator. He's not very good though. Oh, you can't expect me not to torture you when you died 95 times, my brother. Even I don't suck that badly. But to be fair, he was playing on the hardest difficulty known to man, so we give him some leeway. Don't be too harsh, guys. But if you want to see him suffer, the video's available over on his channel right now. I just got through watching it. It was hilarious. Are the sounds on the TVs like the scout whistle from the Nowhere or from the Waking World? What I mean is, can Mono or others, since the supervised users TVs to interact with our world with TVs? I noticed the ship horn at the end of Little Nightmares 1 in the credits. There are multiple ships, so that explains how the ship was... Yes, there's definitely multiple ships. I think that one of the ships that we see in the desert is the Carnival. I think the Carnival is on a flying ship, as was alluded to in the Sounds of Nightmares podcast, episode 4, Two of a Kind. And I think that Low and Alone somehow managed to crash this ship. Or they do something that causes it to crash, and it crashes into the desert, and that's how they end up in the necropolis. And that's why there's a big ship there and loads of debris. And one of the, when we're walking through the necropolis, notice all of the residents in the necropolis are quite thin. They're all turned to stone, but they're all quite thin. So why is it that the bodies, the bodies that we walk past on the way to the necropolis are the big heavy guys that look like guests? The same big heavy guys that we see at the carnival on the ship. I think that's what happens. Again, I could be completely wrong, and this is entirely speculation, but that's what we're here for. Also, if you guys haven't voted on the poll already, please do, because I'm interested in what you guys think. Also, I saw that Fulcrum earlier on typed in that it's a shame that music wasn't in the poll, and I agree because I think that the music is a very, very valuable part of the franchise in general, and Tobias Lilya always knocks it out of the park. I play the music all the time. In fact, you can probably hear his soundtrack playing right now. Let me know if that's too loud or too quiet, by the way. But I suppose that would come under atmosphere, I guess. I was going to write ambience as well. I'm like that too. yeah, mostly because of my potato PC. Yeah, that's fair. If you haven't got like a console or a PC that can run it, then that's gonna cause you a struggle, I suppose. And if we revisit the maw in Little Nightmares 3, is it possible that we use the wax bellman as an Yes, it absolutely is. I 100% think it is. In fact, I saw something really cool earlier on, and I'm going to show you guys it. In fact, let me just show you this right now, because I thought this was really funny. Let me just bring up my display super quick, and then lose my background and big face. Okay, take a little look at this. Not my small face, right? I hope you guys can still see me. Look at this. Can you guys see this? Right, so this is on the Bandai Namco website, on the Little Nightmares 3 page, and they've got like a nice animated graphic here for us where you can see the wind and the smoke and everything like that. But take a look at this part of the mirror that I'm circling with my cursor right here. If you look at that for long enough, that looks like the wax bellman. I think, anyway. That's what I think. Let me just bring your chat back up because I can't see what anybody's saying. But yeah, look at this area in particular, because I know that the whole idea is to keep this thing ambiguous and like intentionally obscured. But I was staring at it earlier, trying to like freeze it on a certain moment or something like that to see if I could figure out what's actually lurking in there. But yeah, I think that it looked a little bit like the wax bellman. But maybe that's just what I wanted to see. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to find where I was with the chat. Port City of Aberdeen. I am reading these, Mal. I'm just not reading them to everyone because I'm assuming that the people that want to read them are going to be reading them themselves anyway. And I don't want to fall too far behind on chat. Cat in the Lemon, what's up? How are you? Deity 3. Yeah, yes, or the necropolis was once a sea, hence the fishnets. So maybe 6 is still out there. Yeah, maybe. I thought it would be really interesting if we get to see the maw beached. Like, the maw, the actual vessel, I would love it if we got to see it beached, like crashed, tipped up on its side, and then maybe we get to explore it, but like after it's been abandoned, after 6 like makes landfall or whatever. Cat in the Lemon, how are you? Hello, did you miss me? Admit it, you missed me. I think I must have done because I certainly remember your name. In fact, I came across your name the other day. I was listening to myself. It was so meta. I was listening to myself address one of your old comments in an old live stream because I was looking at some of my old live streams to see like how I have things set up, and see how I've progressed over time. So it's been a little while since I saw you, Cat in the Lemon. Oh, Maya, did you think that was a release date? Yeah, that's understandable. I like the teapot hat. Yeah, I do. I thought that was cute. I thought it was really fun. I tend to play without hats when I play Little Nightmares 1, at least. I tend to play it as the characters come. So I just play it as they are intended. You're welcome. Also, I enjoy theories. It always has me thinking of what I haven't even thought about before. So it's truly interesting to see other thoughts and theory. I agree. That's actually why I do this, because as much as I enjoy thinking about it and coming up with my own theories and utilizing my own creativity, discussing it with you guys often ignites a spark of creativity within me. And I need that at the moment because I'm currently writing 3 separate stories, all regarding Little Nightmares content. 3 different ones. But they're not just stories though. They are going to be, some of them are going to be animated, some of them are going to be readable, like a graphic novel, some of them are going to be playable. I'm working on so much stuff, guys. It's so exciting. And it's, there's my creative juices are constantly going. The gears are constantly turning, but sometimes I hit a wall. And having time like this where we can just sit down and go through a bunch of stuff, it sort of like reignites that fire, as it were. I kind of get like artist's block or writer's block, even though I don't consider myself an artist nor a writer. But I think it's really interesting how exciting. Oh, sorry, how excited I get when I talk to you guys and you bring something up that I haven't thought about for a while, and then I'm like, oh, and I write it down, and I jot down some little notes and things like that, and I go back to it and I think on it, I expand on it, I research it, and it's so cool. It gives me so much food for thought doing things like this. Ladder thing, that's true, yeah, for sure, right? Once in a blue moon, yeah, I know, right? It's like so rare that I play as well, which again is really surprising. I love the game. I really like to play it. I just don't tend to get a lot of time. Did you notice that the fairgoers have a hole in their eye and their eyelids are big from top-down view in the announcement trailer? I can't say I did, honestly. No, I didn't. If I'm honest, I paid the least attention to the fairgoers out of every character. And I probably should pay a bit more attention to them because they seem to be what we got to see the most of, at least until the Candy Factory You're Being Watched trailer came out, and then we got a good look at them, the workers in the factory. I assumed they were the same model though, or a slightly altered version of that model. I'm probably wrong though. Oh my god, got me so excited. Did you? Oh, no, sorry, I just read that one. Alex the Frog, what's up? How are you? What are your thoughts on the Descent to Nowhere release date? Oh, I'm excited for that, and I'm hoping it's going to be coming before long because at New York Comic Con, they were talking about it. They actually had a booth set up where they were giving out like a sneak peek, and I had a very dear friend of mine, the Notorious Bass, another Resident Evil professional. Actually, he's available on YouTube. Also, his link is in my description because he's a member of the Boom Squad. He's a channel member. He lives in New York, and he went to Comic Con, and I was like, Bass, I need you. Get me that comic immediately. And he did. He went to the booth, he took pictures, he talked to people, he got me the pamphlet. Unfortunately, it didn't reveal a great deal. And then as soon as I got it in my hands, I created a community post and then went live and we shared it, and you guys have all seen it now. But there hasn't been anything else since then. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to come out, but I would suspect that it's around October time. I've just got a funny feeling about October. I don't know what it is, but it just seems logical that they would release these things not all at the same time. I don't think it would be wise for them to release the game, the comics, the books, and everything else that they've got all in one go. I think it would make sense to segment it. Like the electronic comics, for instance. They didn't release them on the day Little Nightmares 2 came out. They released them after. And of course, Little Nightmares DLC. That was pretty much ready to roll. So when Little Nightmares came out originally, the DLC was pretty much done. It was like ready to go. They could have included it with the game, but they didn't. They held off. Maybe because I wanted to see how it would perform, but I'm not sure. Because I swear you can see a big hole in both of their eyes. Could be interesting. I'm going to go back to Big Face because I keep on getting distracted with the the Wax Bellman looking what's it in that picture, and I'm trying to read chat. Let me just get rid of that. Bring my chat back up, and then I can concentrate properly. Yo, Sphera-chan, how are you? Hope you're doing okay. I think that theory is really interesting, actually. I've always wondered why the heck there are conveniently placed tiny ladders everywhere. Yeah, I know, right? I used to think that there were, like, something to do with the gnomes. But then I thought, well, the gnomes aren't everywhere. And, it was almost excusable in Little Nightmares 1. And obviously, it's, the game developers have to put something in there. And they were very creative with it. I'll give them that, because there were some areas where it's like, particularly with the Runaway Kids DLC, where he's chasing Flashlight Girl and she lowers the rope made of tied together blankets and pillowcases, and we use that to climb up. I thought that was really creative, and that's something that I feel like should have been utilised more, like more so than just like, you know, Six is going to need to get this particular ladder and then navigate to this chain and hop across this and pull this lever. How's she going to get up there? Oh, well, just put a little ladder in there. And it seemed like almost lazy, but from a game development standpoint, I do totally understand, and because the game is so ambiguous, it could be excused, because like I say, it's given us this theory today where we can consider the fact that the Maw is built by Six. Like, not physically, but mentally. She created it with her subconscious, and therefore she had to invent ways to navigate it, even though the structure itself, the submersible, is not built for her at all by any stretch. It's not built for somebody of her stature. In fact, it does everything in its power to repel her, but she can still navigate it because she technically controls every aspect of it, because she made it up. Whether or not she knows she made it up, we don't know, but I think that them little ladders and the certain things that you find that help Six navigate her way through are all just a little bit too convenient to be there by chance. Ooh, I have an idea on the supervisor's death. Maybe we lead her and trap her into a big fat... Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought, and I think it's going to be something to do with, you know, when she, loses the dress or the wheels, because I think she's on wheels. See my custard theory if you haven't already. Check that out, because I go into grotesque detail about the supervisor and how I think she'll change forms. But I think that she'll get rid of the dress and the wheels, and then she'll use like that smaller half of her body to chase us through the vents. In fact, we see her do it very briefly in the trailer. You see the hands coming through the vent after Low and Alone. I think that we're going to crawl through a pipe. She's going to chase us into it, much like the teacher. We're going to drop out at the other side and just barely miss a vat of bubbling molasses, like candy stuff, like molten sugar. And then we're going to have to get out and quickly do something as a team to move that pipe over the molasses, so that when the supervisor drops out of it trying to chase us, she drops straight into the vat and ends up being a giant statue. Or she just bubbles and melts, I don't know. But I think that's how she's going to go also. Altak, what's up? By the way, guys, I find it crazy that it's been more than 600 days since the Little Nightmares 3 announcement. Has it really? 600 days? Good grief. Wow. I had a feeling it was, because I know it's been a long time, because I exclaimed the other day that it was like, oh my god, I can't believe we've been waiting this long for this game. You know, it was advertised to us in 2023. We're now almost halfway through 2025 and we still don't have it. What's going on? But you know, it doesn't seem like 600 days. So when you say 600 days, it seems so much longer. But you're absolutely right, it is. But it just means that whatever we get at the end of it is going to be absolutely spectacular. I have all the faith in the world in them, I really do. Well, what about the vents? Why are they child size? Why aren't they... why? Yeah, exactly, right? See, Dear Teeth is exactly right. Some of the vents are excusable, because they're quite big, and the Maw is an expansive vessel, and not all vents have to be big. You know, I have a vent under my desk at the moment, and it's only like this big, and it's literally just for airflow into the cavity wall between my building and the neighbouring building. So it's very, very small. Some of them are small, some of them are big, but isn't it convenient that we just happen to be able to access every single area? It's just strange, and it does make sense, and I get it for, like, if we want to be dull and boring and just play it from a straight-up game developer's standpoint, then well, of course, yeah, the game developers had to make it so that we can navigate them all, otherwise we just wouldn't be able to. And the game would be unplayable, because, you know, it's like, how do I get up there? You don't. Oh, okay, like, so I suppose we better put a tiny little ladder in. Otherwise, I would have to completely rethink the level design. And I think it only makes sense if you imagine that the Maw, or the Pale City, or the Spiral, because I'm sure we're going to find out, is a manifestation of the visitor's subconscious. You pronounced it quite well. Oh, thank you, Cloudy. I appreciate that. I'm usually a butcher because, like, us English folks, we don't do pronunciation very well. I do try. Feeling bullied once again, Gemini. Love to see you do a professional run like I did. Guys, if I was to play Resident Evil 4 on professional mode, would you watch it? Would anybody be interested in that? Not right now, I'm not going to do it now, but if I did play Resident Evil 4 on professional mode, would you be interested in watching it? Because if you would, I would like to challenge Mr. Tibbs, because I bet you I can do it better than you. Now, Mr. Tibbs is an actual Resident Evil professional, so I'm probably going to get my ass handed to me, but I feel challenged now. He's coming to my turf, in front of my audience, my cult, and called me out. Do I respond, or do I rise above it? Or do I sink? Sink into these tideless waters. What do you guys think? I'll let you guys be the judge. I should have made that the poll. Should I go to war with Mr. Tibbs? KG Music, hello Gemini, love your theories. Thank you so much, KG, I really appreciate that. My theories are really, really hard work, and I do put a lot of love and effort into them, so it's really nice to get comments just like that appreciate like what I do and the amount of effort that goes into them. It's not easy, but it is always fun. I promise you that. It's always fun, and I love doing them. Thank you so much, and it's comments like that make me want to keep doing them. These kind of live streams as well, when I see how many of you guys show up and interact and engage with me and what I do, it inspires me all the more to keep creating and to keep doing this. So if you guys like what I do, just keep showing up. Hold on, if Lo and Alone have been in the nowhere before, then why is Lo waking up just now? Have they been here before? Is it a loop? It could be. It could be a loop. It could be a spiral. There was a really interesting comment on one of my videos the other day, the vertex theory. I can't remember who said it now. I have to look it up. But it's you know what? I am actually gonna just quickly see if I can find this comment, because it was very, very intriguing, and I would like to shout that person out and let them recognize the value of their comment. Let me see if I can just find this super quickly. Vertex theory, comments. There, it was somebody named Jack H4H7W. And Jack said, I recently played Alan Wake 2, in which there is a line. It's not a loop, it's a spiral. In the game, the entire line of events that happen over and over, but Alan realizes it's not a loop, but a spiral, meaning each iteration of the loop gets him closer and closer to his goal with the retention of more knowledge. Little Nightmares 3 takes place in the spiral, and Lo is at the bottom of this spiral, attempting to climb, with each area getting him closer to his goal, either by way of getting physically closer or by learning new knowledge that allows him to go further. So even if the ship does crash and Lo is reset to the bottom of the spiral, he may be equipped with the means to ascend higher than before despite the setback. So remember, it's not a loop, it's a spiral. That was Jack H4H7W about a month ago on my video called The Vertex Theory, which is available on my channel. I thought that was fascinating, and it really intrigued me, and I was like, you know what, I'd like that a lot. That's really cool. And I know he took the line from another game, and it was like an interpretation of it. But what do you guys think? I think that's quite interesting, because Notice how, and again, I know this is like from a game developer's standpoint, I recognize that we have to have checkpoints and we have to have restarts, but notice how if you get caught or if you die in a dream, if you die, you wake up. God, that was close. But then you go back to sleep, and you could have a recurring nightmare where you do the same thing, and then you get caught again, but in a different way. And that happens in little nightmares. You know, you're going around, you get caught by a leech, and then you wake up. And then you carry on, but this time you know to jump over the leeches, and you make your way into the kitchens, and then the chef gets hold of you, and you wake up. And it keeps resetting and restarting over and over again, but every time you go back in, you're ready, you're more prepared, and it gets you to a point where you are hard to the core, and you know what's coming. You know the puzzles, you know where all the secrets are, you just figure it out as you go. Again, I keep on referencing the game development standpoint because I listen to the game developers a lot. I listen to their interviews, I listen to them talk to each other, I listen to like speeches that they've given and little tidbits that they write, and I read their tweets and posts and things like that, and I really try and delve into their minds, because from a game development standpoint, I get it. The game has to be playable, it has to make logical sense from a gameplay standpoint, and you are limited by technology and funding and assets and a bunch of other stuff. So it's like there's theories that could be immediately crushed by game logic, right? So like somebody made like a really interesting point the other day about all of the guests being clones. Could there possibly be a cloning facility somewhere in the nowhere? And if we think about the nowhere and the lore and the Little Nightmares universe, that is a really interesting conversation, because it's like, oh well, there could be, and then you imagine what this facility could be and who would run it and why it was there and what its purpose is and how it's connected to them all. But in reality, the truth is the game developers only have so many assets, and they could only create like 5 different skins for guests before they ran out of bandwidth. And that's boring. It's true, but it sucks. It doesn't allow for expansion. It doesn't give us a chance to create more of this world and imagine more of it. And this is another thing. This is what I was talking about in the title, where I say this is something we missed. When I say that the nowhere is given presence and made manifest by the visitors who go to it in their subconscious, I think that the greater expanse of the nowhere is given life by us, by the consumer, the creator, the player, the theorist, you know, the people who love the nowhere. We don't think of it from a game development standpoint. We do, in our minds, us here theorizing now, we are not limited by the budget of our video game or the playability value or replayability value or the janky controls or the budget or the bandwidth, the graphical capabilities. We're not limited by any of that, so we're able to create and expand on the nowhere in so many weird and wonderful ways that give us the means to create and invent new parts of the nowhere, which is exactly what I think the visitors do as soon as they cross the threshold and end up there. I think that all of these new areas, the new enemies, the new monsters, the new puzzles, the new everything that we get to experience is created off the backs of the children who go there. That's why all of my theories are speculative, and they're fun, and they're interesting. They don't always make logical sense. They're not always perfect, and I've only actually ever had one of them confirmed. Maybe 2. But the thing, it's because they're so wild and out there. But I could have made like 5 theories where I would be able to tell you exactly why Six's raincoat is yellow, exactly why the bullies look the way they do and they all seem to look the same. I can tell you exactly why the guests only have a limited amount of, characteristics to them and things like that. I can tell you exactly why from a development standpoint, but that's not a theory. It's a fact, and it's dull, and it's boring, and it doesn't let us expand and use our brains. So, anyway, that's my rant. I don't like being right about stuff just for the sake of being right. I like to build interest in this universe and expand on it. That's why I like writing and scripting and making up DLCs and stories and things like that. I just think it's more fun. Do you agree? Or would you guys actually like to see me do a theory where I'm like, the top 5 things I know about Little Nightmares, and it's just straight fact, literally like, I know exactly what happened here because of this, this, and this, and I can literally break it down. I could like reverse engineer the game, find the line of code that says this is why this happens, and prove it to you in concrete beyond a shadow of a doubt. Would you actually like to see that, or would you think, all right, yeah, cool, kind of ruined it? Anyway, right, sorry. Let me get back to chat. Jesus, wept. I went on a rant there. Wax Bellman final boss. Yeah, that'd be dope. Isn't Necropolis supposed to be chapter 1? It's supposed to, well, I don't know. This is the thing. It was the first thing that we got to see, and it was the first thing that the playtesters got to experience, but we haven't had anything confirmed for certain that it is chapter 1. We don't know yet, and we also don't know that we don't go back to it. It could be that we start in the Necropolis, but it's one of those weird games that starts at the finish. So, you know, it starts at the Necropolis, we navigate the Necropolis, and we end up getting caught by the monster baby. And then we wake up, somewhere on the bed. And then that smoke starts to come in, we learn about that, and then we navigate all the other areas, eventually crashing into eventually ended up on the Carnival ship that crashes into the Necropolis, and then we end up back there. And then we get to see how we ended up there, and the whole thing comes full circle. And that's when it's like, spiral, right, okay. But then, you know, and then this time we go back, but we know how to, we recognize that the monster baby is coming in. We know that's going to happen. So this time we're able to navigate it differently. Like, not even us, the player, knows it's going to happen, but Law and Alone know it's going to happen. So they're able to navigate that trap. Possibly, I don't know. It's sort of leaning back on that, on Jack's comment about the spiral theory. Also, my chat has just disappeared and said not enough memory to open this page. So I'm just gonna close chat real quick. Forgive me if I'm ignoring you. Reload. It's loading, and there it is. All right, let me pop out chat again. Supersize it. It will have deleted some chat, by the way, guys, because there's actually so many of you that I think it like auto deletes after a while to save bandwidth, which is kind of irritating, but I am sorry about that. But there is quite a few of you in here, and and I think the chat can only get so far before it gives up on me. Right. Let's see, where are we? Let me just scroll up a little bit. Right, forgive me, I'm going to sort of skim read a lot of these. Lucas Blocks, I absolutely hope the Wax Bellman will appear as well. Alex the Frog's theory, Little Nightmares Descent to Nowhere takes place inside the Stone Giant. I think at least some of it does. Because that lady with the chains under her dress, I can't remember what we're calling her at the moment, but she was like the big boss of the Stone Giant, wasn't she, in episode 1 of The Sounds of Nightmares? And I think that was a really good depiction of her, and she meets the Silent Girl. So you're absolutely right. At least one part of it, I think, will take place within the Stone Giant. I couldn't agree more, Alex the Frog. Bellman was supposed to just look through mirrors and not be particularly hostile, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's actually true. Well, I don't know how hostile he was supposed to be, but he was definitely supposed to be present. And the mirrors were a thing, the two-way mirrors. In fact, the two-way mirror, the one that we come across in the bathroom, where we use it to get around the chef, in Little Nightmares 1 on the moor near the guest area, I think that was a reference to the Wax Bellman, because when Little Nightmares was first announced back in 2015, like 2014, 2015, it was called Hunger. My entire house just shook. Did you see that? Well, that was unnerving. Okay. Well, if everything goes dead, it's because I'm experiencing an earthquake of some description. I think we're good. If my house comes crumbling down and interrupts my stream, I'm gonna be so pissed. Right, where was I? God damn it, distracted me. Stupid natural disaster. Lost DLC chapter 4 confirmed. Yeah, sorry. So the only characters that were there were there was people in cosplay, and there was 6. There was the chefs, and there was the wax bellman. And the wax bellman's entire thing was that he would stay behind the mirrors, and he would he'd turn on a light so that you could see through the mirror. He'd knock on the mirror, and he'd turn the light off and disappear. So you're just looking at your reflection again. It was really cool. Honestly, it was really good. Maybe he's got some distorted desires. I'm sure he does, Nintendo Gamer Kid. Yes, I agree, Takeo, about the being the 6th replacement for the lady. I think that's very valid. What's up, Nightmare? How you doing? You haven't missed much. It's just been me gas bagging, as is custom. Jacob says, there are 3 things I found that made me believe this. 1, no child has a normal name that parents would choose for them unless it's a child who chose it, like 6, Mon, Alone, Noon. Yes. 2, in the Sounds of Nightmares, Noon never found another child in the Nowhere that tells her their past, like family, home name, or anyone, so I'm given to them. Yeah. And last 3, if the Nowhere wanted to trap the child there, taking their memory makes them lose a part of themselves and lose more. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right, Jacob. 100%. Couldn't agree more. I'd even go so far as to say that's confirmed in the comics, because the bread kid, the kid who gives bread to 6, he even says that. He says, "What's the last thing you remember?" And she doesn't answer him because she's mute, like all the way through that game, or all the way through that comic. Sorry, and he says, "If you don't tell us, you're sure to forget altogether." And I think you're right. I think that's what it wants. In fact, I allude to that a little bit in a story I'm writing, and I think I did mention it before in the pseudonym theory, which was a theory I made a couple of months ago now, where I discussed the characters' names, why they have them, how they came up with them, who is vital and important, and I expanded on it a little bit more in the Vertex theory as well, if you guys haven't seen that. Ooh, animated? You mean 3D animation? Maybe. In the wallpaper of your last community post, the eye is depicted at the bottom of the maw. This could verify what you said about sinking lower. And yeah, exactly, right? I thought that because I was hyper-analysing that wallpaper for ages, because I was thinking, right, why? I even flipped it upside down, so that, because I was like, why is the eye at the bottom? I found it really peculiar that the eye was at the bottom, which happens to be where we start the game. Notice how when we start, we are right at the bottom of the maw. Why? Why is it that when 6 appears on the maw, she's well, not appears on the maw, because we don't know that's where her journey began, but why is it when we pick it up, it's right at the very bottom? Why is she in the bottom? Why didn't she go in the main entrance? How did she get there? Like, obviously, we suspect now that she came through the television, and she's, like, navigated her way down for some reason. But I don't know why she would go down instead of just immediately going up. But whatever the case, we don't know. And I don't think the developers know either. When you play the game, how many videos until you finish it? Ooh, I don't know. I don't actually know, because I don't know how long the game is. If it's roughly the same as Little Nightmares 4, then Little Nightmares 4. God, sorry, future Gemini. If it's pretty much the same or similar to Little Nightmares 2, I think it'll be like 5 episodes before I finish it. And then obviously, well, it'll definitely be more, because it'll be about 5 episodes, because I'll play it through as Low or Alone. But then I'll do another playthrough as the opposite character. So I'll do a playthrough as Low, a playthrough as Alone, and then I'll do a collaboration playthrough with somebody who I've been talking to recently, who some of you guys might know. Your local Galade, a warm afternoon, bro, from the USA. Well, welcome, hello, and welcome. Warm afternoon to you from Great Britain, and it is actually a warm afternoon. I mean, it's closing in on evening now because it's 5 to 8. But yeah, absolutely great to see you in the chat. And I'm also sorry if I'm just staring at your name there, Galade. I hope I said that right. Let me know if I'm wrong, though. And good afternoon to you. Lextricity, how are you? Long time no see. It has been a little while. I hope you're doing okay. I was meant to message you the other day because you dropped me a nice message, and I was in the midst of a panic attack when you messaged me. I know that sounds really sad and pathetic, but I was literally having like a mental breakdown when you messaged, and I just sort of like, I was getting messages and stuff, but I wasn't responding to anyone, and I put it down and I said to myself, I'm going to respond to these later on, and I just didn't. I'm sorry. But yeah, how are you? I hope you're doing okay, Lex. How's little Lex? Honestly can't wait for Descent to Nowhere. Yeah, neither can I. Oh, I wouldn't be the only one drawing fan art of the Silent Girl anymore. I don't think you are. I think there's other people drawing the Silent Girl. Not enough people, though. I actually saw a really cool 3D rendition, a 3D rendition of the Silent Girl made on a, on... What is it? It's not Unity. What's it? Blender. It's made on Blender. Really good. Can't remember who made it. It's been 1 year single-handedly keeping her alive. I made an entire theory video on her. I did, but I feel like I did my part, Alex. Give me some credit. Marto! Hey, do you think the chefs might be the former workers? They look really similar with their hair, skin tone and figure. I hope we'll see some Easter eggs in the Funfair chapter. So do I. I really hope we do. Now, it could be that, and it absolutely could be that they're like, you know, because they're still working in food development, but they've moved into like a different area, maybe like the upper echelon of food development or food processing within the Nowhere. It's absolutely a possibility, and there are some very significant similarities between them. So there's no reason to think otherwise. You could absolutely be right. Yo, Ryan Wood, the big man in the building, here he is. Can't believe YouTube actually let you on. Mr. Permaban himself. Supervisor will go full on General Kenobi. Oh no, you know that as soon as I see her now, she's going to pop out and give it all this, and I'm just going to be like, hello there. Wheels scraping on the floor in the Steam screenshot to the office, and the wheels on the shelves, and yeah, metal frame. Yeah, exactly. So much to consider. If you break that trailer down, I think it's like it's a glaringly obvious that she's on wheels. But I might be wrong though, because that's the thing. It's not confirmed yet. We don't know. Until I play the game and I actually see it happen, then yeah. I also wonder if there will be a Little Nightmares game where we won't kill any bosses. Maybe, but I hope not. I kind of like offing some of the worst ones. Like it was, it felt kind of bad cutting the arms off Roger the janitor. But I would have loved to decapitate the teacher. That would have brought me so much, and the doctor as well. That was satisfying. I really like the idea that even give you the option, do you want to cook his ass or do you just want to leave him there? And I love whatever you decide to do. Six is like, yes. That. She gets behind it 100%. She's just like, yeah. She's the one that closes the door. She shuts him in. So to top it off, the child loses their memory as it shows presented Vanillus memory. Yes. You don't have to believe this bye. No, I do believe it, Jacob. I think you're absolutely onto something. I think you're 100% correct. Skeleton Cleek, what's up? How are you? Gemini, where do you think Little Nightmares 3 will come into the Little Nightmares timeline? Ooh, that's a really tough question, because I think that... Well, I don't think we've seen any references to previous games just yet. And I think that that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye out for, is Easter eggs. Because if we spot telltale Easter eggs that give us some inclination that it is a... that it's a prequel, then I think we might be onto something. Also, sorry if my stream is lagging a little bit. It's just come up with a little yellow warning. The stream's current bitrate is low. We better not be. We're not going back to one frame, Gemini. But yeah, it's really difficult to say. I would expect that it's a sequel, only because Law does not look very old. He looks like a similar age to 6. It looks like, and she's 9 canonically. So, and he looks a similar age, at least judging by his size and stature and everything else. But his biography, his description says that he has been in the Nowhere for many years. So he's been there for a really long time, literal years. So he's been in the Nowhere for years, and he only looks to be as old as 6 is. And if we assume that he ages in that time, and we know that 6 hasn't been there for years, well, do we know that? We don't know that, necessarily. Because she could have been there for a long time as well. We don't know how old she was in Very Little Nightmares, do we? Really tough to say. I don't think there's enough evidence for me to substantiate any particular theory. I feel like it's a sequel, but I don't know. I think I'll lay off on answering that, because I can't substantiate any of it, and it would be purely guesswork, and it would be guesses based on non-substantiated evidence, because we've seen nothing to get that so far. I might look into it and see if I can spot something, but I feel like I would have seen something by now if they'd released it. It's not to say it won't be in the game, it's just we haven't been made privy to it in the drip feeding lore that they've been giving us so far. What could be behind the spiral? What could be the cause of the spiral's existence? I think it's Law and Alone being in the same place at the same time. Notice how the more children seem to be in a place, the more expansive it becomes. So the Maw is big. It is really big. But compared to the Pale City, it's not very big at all. And the Maw, it has children aboard, obviously, and I haven't counted them, but we could estimate that there's roughly 100 children on board. Because there's the ones in the prison, there's the ones in the nursery, and then there's the ones that are being eaten. So there's around 100 children. So it's given shape and form by them and their subconscious, providing they have some kind of input on it. But then when you go to the Pale City is way bigger. Way, way bigger. And that is assumably because there are so many more children living within it. The spiral could be given... the spiral could be... It's described as a cluster of... a cluster of obscure places. I can't remember exactly how the producer described it, but she said it's a cluster of dystopian places, and they're all wildly different, aren't they? The necropolis, the candy factory, and the fun fair. that took a minute. Yeah, I think they're all pretty far removed from one another. So it's I think it would be safe to assume that there's a lot of people involved in that creation as well. And if the Nowhere functions like we think it does, it's made manifest by the children's subconscious, then we can assume that there are a lot of them in there. and it's created this area where maybe they've all, I don't know. It could literally be down to the fact that it's generated kind of like a simulation. So, like, I don't know how many of you guys have seen Rick and Morty, but there's like an episode where they'll be walking along, and it's like the simulation is generated in front of them as the stuff that's behind them is deleted. So, you know, it's just like the old stuff fades out. Exactly the same as a video game works. You know, when you're playing in an open world game and you're running in one direction, and you can see, you know, when there's a bit of lag and the world sort of loads in front of you. Maybe that's the way it works. Like, maybe when you arrive in the nowhere, it's sort of like given shape as you move through it. I don't know. But that's a strange way to think about it, but it could be cool. I would love to see a monster down half body, his hands not leg. yeah, exactly, Maya. I imagined that the supervisor would be kind of like that, with like loads of arms. At one point, I thought maybe her feet would be hands. Skyrim were to make a timeline video of the Little Nightmares based on the official stuff and fan theories, any new videos would not be needed at all. Sorry, I'm only quiet because I'm not sure who Skyrion is. That's a creator I'll probably have to look up. I always thought that if MatPat, you know, from game theory, I always thought I was always a bit gutted that MatPat never covered Little Nightmares in its entirety. Never really give it like a real shot. Never give it the old college try. And I do understand why. And a part of me is kind of grateful for that, because I feel like if MatPat was to go at it, he'd just tear it into pieces. Like, MatPat is like the ultimate theorist, and he's got an incredible team behind him, and I know that he's retired now, but I feel like if MatPat was to tackle it, he'd ruin it for everyone else, because he's just that good. So you know, there wouldn't be anything that I could bring to the table. I feel like I wouldn't be able to spot anything or expand on anything that MatPat wouldn't be able to pick apart on a molecular level. Hey, Faceless Art and Skills, what's up? How are you? Hope you're doing okay. Welcome to the stream. It's a challenge, yeah. Evan Robinson, I actually just recently caught up on RE Law. I absolutely love to see you try professional mode. Thank you. Hey, Sabrina Marquez, how are you? Finally got to catch me live indeed, yeah. I've been live for just over an hour now. Yeah, and I'm glad you can make it in. Hey, Artbox, what's up? Mr. Few of them. Hey, don't worry, you've got lives to live. Everybody's got things to do, including me. That's why I haven't been uploading much content recently. I've had, like, real life to live, which sucks, but it is what it is. Gemini, I challenge you to do a speedrun of Doom 2016. Oh, right, now that is a challenge. It would especially be a challenge considering I have never, ever, not once in my life, played a Doom game. Ever. So if you're asking me to do the last level on Nightmare, I have no idea what that entails, but I'm going to assume I would suck at it. Nate thinks the final boss is either the Mirror Man or the Wax Bellman, and those are not unfounded. I'll be sinking into tideless waters myself in a few weeks when I haven't had a night dive. Plasmatic, it hurts my head to constantly think how the player deaths and wake-ups are canon. Yeah, I know, right? That was the thing. Because obviously it's just a checkpoint system. But if we think about it in depth, like the respawn point, it's like, what's the canonicity of it? And as theorists, I think we are like obliged to consider everything from a like lore canon perspective rather than a game mechanics perspective. It's almost like drowning and taking a breath fast away. Yeah, whenever I dream about drowning, and I do all the time, very frequently, one of my consistent recurring nightmares is I dream about tsunamis, like huge crushing walls of water, like massive tidal waves that you can do nothing about. And they seem like real. you know, when it hits, in the dream, I feel the impact and I feel the cold and I can taste the salt water and everything. And the only reason I know I'm dreaming is because I'll go under the water and I'll breathe. And then when I realise I can still breathe, I inhale, but I'm underwater, and I'm like, oh, I'm breathing underwater, it's a dream. And then I'll wake myself up because I'll recognise that I'm dreaming. But that's the only way I'm able to do it, is if I take a deep breath underwater. I dread the day when a big wave hits and I decide, well, you know, let's give this a try. Just like inhale about 4 litres of water and drown. Fairman also did this with Noon at the end of episode 3. I believe that the Nowhere survives on an endless loop. Not the loop everyone says. Mono is not the Thin Man, but his replacement. 6 replaces the lady, Mono the Thin Man, and Law the Mirror Man. Possibly. Take up. Possibly. Because it does stand to reason that Mono is not the Thin Man, and 6 is not the lady. At least not in a loop in the conventional sense. I do understand what you mean. But yeah, I understand why people think that they are. I'm not even 100% if I believe the loop theory or not. But it's really difficult to say, isn't it? But that's the whole point. We're not supposed to get it. We're supposed to interpret it in our own way. How are you doing? I am absolutely fine, Faceless Art. I'm doing fantastic today. Absolutely fantastic. Also, forgive me if I'm missing so much of this chat, but I'm miles behind because it keeps crashing. I have no idea why, but it just keeps deciding to give up on me. Erin Cobb, have you watched the new Little Nightmare? Yes, Erin Cobb, I did. And I'm going to bring this up now as well. The new Little Nightmares short film, Pareidolia Paranoia, by the Overman, he edited it himself. He made it he made the animation, he created the character, the drawing and everything like that, and he built the set. It's amazing. It's so good. It's haunting, it's cinematic, it's atmospheric, the ambience is absolutely peak. If you guys haven't seen it, please check it out on the Overman's channel. It's absolutely incredible. I considered watching it. I actually spoke to the Overman this afternoon and I asked him if he would mind if I play it on the stream, because if enough of you guys haven't seen it, I'll go and watch it now. Like, I will literally go watch it now, bring it up on the screen, we'll all watch it together. It's dope. It's only about 5 minutes long, but it's so encapsulated. It's very, very good, and I really hope that the Overman does more stuff like that. It's really good. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Erin. I'm really glad you did. First art skills, you're Gemini. Sorry if I keep asking so much stuff about my work, but what do you like about my money? Yeah, I knew you were going to ask what you like. You're so autistic it hurts. And that's not an insult. I'm autistic too. And so are a lot of my friends. Before any of you guys start taking that out of context. Faceless Art has autism. I have autism. And we recognise that this is important. Faceless Art often asks me what I like about, well, she'll show me her work and be like, what do you think of this? And I'll say, I really like it. And her brain will say, why do you like it? Give me full details. Tell me everything. And I understand the value of that because I like to know that myself. When somebody says to me that they like my theory, or they like my video, or they like my art, or they like something, I like to know why. Details are important to people like us with hyper-analytical, like overly active brains. So, I'm going to answer your question. Faceless Art. I particularly like your take on it because I feel like your work not only captures the emotion behind the characters, but also what you took from that interaction. So, the way Little Nightmares 2 ended, so from the comic strip that you sent me earlier on, as I was reading it, I was like, this is what Faceless Art wants to see. these are the conversations that you want to hear them have, and you want to know how they're going to work through it. And it's really interesting because I feel like you're not the only one that interpreted them the way you did. And the artwork is brilliant. The artwork's always brilliant. Your line work is excellent. Your shading is excellent. And the ones that you sent me were just sketches anyway. But I know that you could do loads better because you always do. You send me the finished pieces and they're incredible. I've actually featured Faceless Art's work in my videos before. In Chapter 2 of my Lost DLC. That was actually her artwork. But yeah, that's my take on that. I really love the way that you capture the emotion in those characters and then you put it into words, because these characters have these interactions and we're supposed to make judgments on what we think of, like, you know, what we think is going on, and interpret that based on their animations, you know, the way they interact with one another. And then we can sort of like put our own dialogue in there. But you actually do that, like you've written out the dialogue and given them a conversation, and then you can, when you read in the dialogue, it makes those emotions and those gestures make so much more sense to a person who needs more detail. And I like that. That's what I like about your work. The tall woman, according to the wiki. Who calls her the tall woman? Rax Rage, hello there. Hi, I'm so sorry it took me so long. I am absolutely miles behind the chat, so for those of you guys that are just joining now, I am trying to read as many comments as I can and address them respectfully and thoughtfully, but it's hard because there's like 30 of you guys and only one of me, and I read slow, and I like to I like to look over them as well. Simon Russell, I'm gutted. I only just found out that Little Nightmares 3 isn't cross-platform. Was going to co-op it with Maddie, but Xbox and PS5 won't cross-play. That sucks, my brother. I'm really sorry to hear that. Fortunately, you are absolutely loaded, so you're just going to have to buy another PS5 and play it. It's sound. Just get another PS5. Get a PC! Get a PC and be a YouTuber! That's what you should do. Not having a boring real job with real people where you make a real difference to a real society. You should be a YouTuber like me. I make a difference. I'm contributing to society, right guys? You guys have got my back. I contribute to society too. I make a difference here. Simon Russell, you just go buy another PS5 with your wages and your difference making position. I help people also. But I am sorry to hear that, brother, though. It really sucks. Because you're not the only one that's thought that cross-platform would actually be a thing by now. In fact, I was convinced, like, probably over a year ago, that cross-platform was just going to be the norm, like, by 2025. Because it makes sense, doesn't it? You know? Especially for games that are designed with an emphasis on multiplayer, like Little Nightmares 3. It seems really bizarre that it's not, but either way, maybe it'll happen someday, I don't know. But for now, I suppose your only option is be a YouTuber. buy another console. That bloody comet was supposed to come in 2032 around the equator, so probably not. Hashtag don't look up. Yeah, 2032, we've only got like 7 years left anyway until we're all... Well, yeah, and that comet, it isn't a planet killer either. Don't get me wrong, it'll do some damage. If it's even remotely close to the size of the one that caused the crater at the Tunguska crater, the Tunguska incident, that flattened like millions of trees for miles. It's crazy the amount of damage that would do if it hit a populated area. Now, the chances of it actually striking a populated area are less than 1%. It's so ridiculously remotely small, but it's not zero, and that's concerning. But as it stands, the way the world is at the moment, I welcome the damage. I'm just like, screw it, let's go. I'm ready. Take me. I'm ready to meet my maker. Whoever that might be. Theory. Gemini lives in the signal tower and there's an earthquake because the walls are turned into flesh. Yeah, I thought it stunk in here. Yeah, best theory I've ever heard. It confirmed. Nightmare's absolutely right. I live in the signal tower. That's what's going on. That's actually why I'm on a diet and losing weight as well. I'm trying to become the thin man. Eventually I'll come on the stream and I'll be in a hat and a suit and I'll have a chair made of wood. I am actually making an ornament for my office and I'm going to hang on the wall back there, and it's the do you guys know, in fact I'll show you it. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but there's a portrait of the teacher right there. Can you see? In this nice wooden frame. It's the portrait of the teacher that we see on the mall. And I want a full-size one. Like a full-blown, life-size A3 portrait of the teacher in a big wooden frame to hang on that wall. I think that would be absolutely dope. You're right about the Gallade pronunciation. It's a Gen 4 Pokemon. Oh yeah, of course it is Gallade. Yeah, duh. Oh, thank you, Maya. I appreciate that. Gemini in the Dark Ages. Yeah, 6 is straight up a little monster. Hey, Mohammed, how are you? Mohammed Ilham Saputra. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I've got terrible pronunciation, as everybody in the chat knows. But hello, Mohammed. How are you? I hope you're doing all right. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry it took me so long to answer you. What did you have to say? My opinion, maybe Little Nightmares 3 is before a prequel for Very Little Nightmares, because Raincoat Girl is not explained, and is not explained why the raincoat is in Very Little Nightmares with the hot air balloon. So it's possible that Little Nightmares 3 explains Raincoat Girl, explains the mirror that 6 uses against Lady because it looks like... Yeah, I hope so. Like, I hope that they tie something into Very Little Nightmares. I doubt that they will, but I've always wanted them to tie something back to it. In fact, when I was... my latest theory video, the Vertex theory, actually discusses a link between Low and Alone and Raincoat Girl. And the hot air balloon. And a couple of other things like that that could potentially tie them together if I'm right. I'm not sure I am, but the way I was thinking about it canonically in my head, it sort of made sense, and I was like, yeah, this works. This works. I can roll with this. And I was quite convinced that I was onto something. Stefania Love, greetings from Germany. Guten Tag or Guten Abend. I'm not sure. Guten Abend. I don't know if it's or Gute Nacht. I don't know what time it is in Germany. I'm going to assume it's like 9, 10 o'clock. What time is it? 9, 10? Acht. But hello and welcome to the stream. I'm really glad you can make it. Sorry guys, I'm just sort of skipping through a couple of these where you guys are talking to each other, just because I don't want to get too far behind. I'm already miles behind anyway, but you know how it be. Faceless hearts, because the tism is strong. Yes, I agree, the tism is strong with this one. Casual hardcore gamers, moderator has entered the chat. Everyone bow. Everybody watch your language. Especially you German folks. How are we? How are you doing, casual hardcore gamers? Very dear friend of mine, RJ, is my moderator and my good friend. How are you, my brother? I'm really glad you can make it to drop in and say hi to me. Hope you're doing okay, man. Ah, the moderator, the most powerful monster in the nowhere. Beware. I love how RJ like plays into it. Beware. Bow to me, children. Hey, you heard the moderator, little ones. Make with the bowing. Aw, Heaven's gotta go. Yeah, so do I, but you can always watch the VOD afterwards, and it's been great to have you for the hour and a half that I've kept you for. I really appreciate you stopping in and saying hi, Heaven, and I'm really sorry if I didn't get to say goodbye before you left. But thanks for stopping in. Please do another video of fan art. I will do, actually. I'm considering it. Altak, how was your mum? Is she doing okay? My mum is actually well, yeah. Quick one for those of you guys that don't know. My mum is very sick and she has cancer, lung cancer, and it sucks. Cancer always sucks. I'm not going to sit and harp on this for too long because I know I'm not the only person who has somebody, like 1 in 3 of us will experience this on some level. We'll either, like 1 in 3 of us will either get cancer or know somebody who has cancer. It sucks. It's a terrible situation all around. My mum has cancer. She's really not very well, but she's still with us. My mum is here and my mum is strong. And I really appreciate Altak asking. It's very kind of you to think of my mum. And I'll tell her as well. I always tell her, because when people talk about my mum in the streams, I show her. I go back through the chat and I'm like, look at all the love you get. And it cheers her up and makes her smile, you know. So I really appreciate that. Sorry if I get a bit choky. But it's a hard situation for me. And it means a lot that you guys think about my mum. And she is doing better, surprisingly. She's undergoing like every type of therapy you can possibly get to treat her cancer, and there have been some significant improvements. You know, she's walking around a lot more, she's a lot more coherent, she's eating more, so things are good. So health wise, it's not like, oh, she's cured, she's fine. She's not fine, but she's definitely improving and showing significant improvements in her quality of life, and that means the world to me. And the fact that you guys care about that is even more wholesome, so thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Altak. Your videos and live streams make me feel happy. I feel interested to listen and learn more and share. Well, I'm glad, Maya. I'm really happy that you feel like a good part of the community, because you are. You're welcome here, and it's always great to see you engaging and interacting, not only with me, but with other members of the community as well. That's what I love, is the fact that this franchise brings people together, especially considering a lot of stuff I see online when it comes to fan bases on popular franchises like Little Nightmares or like Reanimal, like Five Nights at Freddy's, you know, like anything. The communities kind of get to a point where they're really toxic and they start turning on each other, and I'm like, why are you guys so vicious? Why are you fighting in the comment section and arguing and attacking each other over something? And it's because you disagree about a certain facet of a franchise that brought you together, that you both love. You can agree to disagree. You know, I might think Six is the best character. Six is my favourite character. I love Six. I think she's awesome. Some of you think she's a bitch because of what she did to Mono. That's completely understandable. I'm not going to fall out with you and ban you from the chat and start attacking you online and become a keyboard warrior over the fact that you don't like the same character I do. That's playground stuff. That's like, you know, it's like with children, you know, who argue you're like 3 years old and it's like, what's your favourite colour? Green. What's your favourite colour? Yellow. Ugh, yellow. Not being your friend. It's that pathetic. It really is. And I love the fact that you guys are the polar opposite of that. Every single time you guys come into here, you all get along with each other, and you're welcoming and inviting, and you're open to each other's theories, and you're supportive, and it's just wonderful, and I appreciate that. And I wanted to thank you guys for that, because it restores my faith in humanity. Especially where I live, and you know, the things I subject myself to on a daily basis, I see a lot of negativity in the world, particularly when it comes to society and people in general. And you guys help me remember that it's not always like that. There is a lot of positivity in the world. Sadly, it all seems to be confined to this chat room. But I appreciate you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being a positive influence on this community. 1 hour late. It's 9:25 in Germany. Well, guten, what would I say then? I suppose I'd say guten Abend, which is like good afternoon. But if I say gute Nacht, that's like good night. That feels like I'm saying bye. The OG resident. Yeah, exactly. Casual Hardcore Gamers is the OG resident. He is our own in-house monster. Scroll lower and lower until you wake. Scroll into these tideless waters. if I want to share my fan art, where can I send it? Well, you're more than welcome to share it in the Little Nightmares Discord, because I will definitely see it if it's there. But if you wanted to send it directly to me in the hopes of having it featured in an upcoming video, send it to my email address, which is available on my About page. In fact, I'll type it in here real quick. So that right there is the email address that is associated with this channel. If any of you guys want to send me fan art, and I welcome you to do so, please do. It's not an ideal way to contact me, because I get hundreds of messages every day on Discord and I have to filter through them and go through it. It's just a bit of a nightmare. So if you send me a random message on there, chances are it won't get answered, or if it does, it'll take weeks. But if you wanted to send me fan art, go forth and spam Gemini's email inbox. Thanks, moderator. You know, I can always depend on you. No, but if you guys want to send me fan art, please send it to that email address there, because I will look at it, I will archive it, and there is a good chance it will be featured in an upcoming video in the future when I decide to pour through my fan art and show some appreciation to you guys. Just make sure that you label it with the subject heading something along the lines of fan art. Okay, or something like that, just so that I know what it is, because I get a whole bunch of emails as well. Most of them aren't worth reading because it's just random spam that I seem to get because of my moderator. I'm blaming you for all the spam I get now. Yeah, all of those horny singles that can't wait to meet me in my area. I bet you sent them. Alright then, guys, bear with me. Guten Abend. Yeah, exactly. Oh, 1 second. In Descent to Nowhere, the prison warden and the detective will turn out to be the same person. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. That is intriguing. Excuse me, but that is very intriguing. 1V02P_6. I'm so sorry that you haven't got an easier name to say, but that person right there, I like that. What they said. Everything they said. Brilliant. But you gotta meet all the single Beckys. Becky, Vicky, Tony. Alright then, guys. I am just going to vacate the premises momentarily. I will return. If you haven't already, give me a little thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out with the other monster that is the algorithm. Pretty sure that's the forfeiter of the nowhere. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind dropping me a little like on the video and stick around for a couple more minutes, I'm just going to pop to the bathroom, refill my beverage, and then I'll be back for another half an hour's worth of chill time. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't let them leave, RJ. All right, we have returned. It's okay, you can leave. Thanks, RJ. Yeah, why is my viewers rate dropped by like 70% since I left? This is your fault, RJ. I blame you. No. Off topic, but have you seen the teaser for the movie Weapons? It's so creepy. No, but I noticed that you uploaded something regarding that recently, Step. I was going to comb through your channel a bit later on, actually, because you've left me a few nice comments recently, and I wanted to see what you've got going on. I'm not leaving, Casual. I'm enjoying this stream, so you don't have to. I'm just saying you can. You see? Turn on the moderator. We outnumber him like 50-1. I think. How many of us are there? 30-1. We outnumber him 30-1. It's good to hear others' theories, especially when they challenge mine. That's the fun of making it. Exactly, right? This is the thing. It doesn't have to be an argument. It can be a debate. It can be a conversation. It should be. You're supposed to ask questions, prove each other right, substantiate each other with evidence, and then just accept. You can choose to accept it, not accept it, but you don't have to fight. You know what? For your sass, you are hereby banished to the nowhere. No, RJ, don't banish my viewers. Alright, guys. I got a question for you. Should I attempt hard to the core? Just as a last thing before I leave. Just a last thing before I go. Hashtag shameless self-promotion. Hey, that's totally fine, Step. I promote you myself. You contribute plenty to these streams. There's no reason why I won't give you a shout out where it's deserved. Gemini, watch it before I banish you too. Yeah, sorry guys, like Casual Hardcore Gamers has spoken. The moderator has more authority than I do on my channel during my live stream. It literally bans me. Imagine that. I just end up muted. Gemini, what do you think about the possibility of the dwellers having worshipped the North Wind in the past, and perhaps did something to anger him and unleash the monster baby? Yeah, potentially. Maybe the North Wind, or maybe another entity altogether. I'm not sure, but that's definitely a really interesting one, especially considering how similar those areas look between the North Wind's episode in the comic series that I've got back there that I'm pointing at arbitrarily, thinking that you guys know what I'm talking about. That book there is the comics. But yeah, it would stand to reason, definitely. Hard to the core isn't actually hard at all. I'm glad you think so, Nate. I don't know if I could do it. But actually, I have done it, but I did it like 7 years ago or something like that. I did it by accident. I don't think it's like really difficult. It's not like a top 1% trophy or anything like that. But I don't think it's super easy either. So I'm not really sure. The Chef family is probably supposed to be immigrants. All the residents are based on stereotypes of people. The chef's mother resembles the fat Hispanic Mexican mother stereotype. I'm gonna get cancelled. I'm gonna get cancelled just reading your stuff. If I think Italian, Mexican are all portrayed as good cooks. Yeah, to be fair, but Italian, Mexican, Hispanic food, it's all great, isn't it? Greetings, my brother Gemini from America. The time is 2:38 p.m. and it's finally me weekend off from work. Just got your notification, what's up? Well, it's great to see you, Francis. Really glad to see you in the chat chilling out with us. How are you? Hope you're doing well. No ice fishing today. We need a hard to the core stream. Well, you're definitely getting a hard to the core video at least. I'll have to be able to do it first. Gemini, tell us what you're cooking. You said you're making things and someone doing that for you. Yes, I am. One of the main things that I'm doing is I am making a comic of my own. And for that comic, I've invented it's based in the Little Nightmares universe, and it will feature characters and areas that you're familiar with and that you know. But I've also invented new characters, like new protagonists that are going to interact and be a part of the universe, new monsters, and an entire new environment for them to explore that I think fits really, really well within the confines of the nowhere. And I'm still working on fleshing it out, like literally fleshing it out. So play with that. Let that sit on your brain for a minute. But yeah, and I'm going to be creating this comic series. But sadly, with my artist needing to take some time off, it's become difficult because all I can do is write the story and then have like a very basic storyboard going on, you know, me and my like little doodles and things like that. But I have an idea, like, you know, the layout, how many panels I want, the style, the atmosphere. I've got all the characters and everything like ready. I just need like professional drawings and designs of each of them doing before I can start setting them down into the universe. But you guys can expect to see 3 new characters, 3 new enemies at least, and 1 new huge environment. Will you upload the comic on AO3? Yeah, potentially. I'm gonna make it like publicly available, so as it stands there'll be like 3 ways to view the comic. I'm gonna have a hard copy that I'm only gonna make like a couple. So I'm gonna make a hardback copy like that one right there, so it'll be like this. Instead of just pointing at it over the way, it'll be like this, like, you know, sort of hardback version of the comic like that. Except obviously it'll be my version like that. I'm gonna make 1 for me and then maybe like 4 more to give away. I won't sell them. I can't sell them because it's not my intellectual property, so I can't actually profit from making this. It's more of a passion project. It's something that I want to do and have every intention of doing. So I'll make about 5 of these. I'll give 4 of them away. There will be a version available to read online, just in like a document, so you can literally go page by page like that. You know, the same way we read this one online. So I'll upload it page by page in like an AOL document or a PDF document or something like that. And I will also be making, if I can, still playing with the idea, a mobile version of it that you can scroll, like the Little Nightmares sounds. Sorry, the Sounds of Nightmares. No, the Little Nightmares 2 electronic comics. That came out back in 2021, you know, where you could like click chapter 1 and then scroll through like that, and it's got like accompanying sound effects and everything. So it's going to be available in that format as well. None of which are going to be chargeable. I'm not going to charge for any of those. It's all going to be free. But obviously creating the hard copy versions is going to cost me a whole bunch of money. So they are going to be limited. I will sign them if that means anything to you. You know, because there will only be like 5 of them, if I even make 5 of them. I consider just making 1. Just 1 for my special archive, so I could have something unique, and then just making it available to read online only. But I've got the original like hardback copy, but I might make a couple of them. But yeah, he's absolutely right. What RJ just said there, if he sold it, Bandai could potentially sue him because he didn't set up an official partnership, and that is absolutely correct. The IP isn't mine to sell. So even though it's my story, my characters, my environment, my monsters, my designs, my work, and my money that's gone into it, it's all based on a universe that they created, that I do not own. And unless I enter into a legal partnership with Bandai Namco and Supermassive, I can't sell anything with that brand name on it. So I can make it. There's nothing stopping me creating it and giving it away and like making it publicly available for people to enjoy, but I can't profit off it. So it has to be entirely unmonetized. That's why if I do make those and I give them to you guys, there will be a limited number. So I'll give them to you and you'll be able to consume them for free. Everybody will be able to read it for free online, and if I am able to make the electronic version that you guys can scroll, that will also be downloadable for free somehow. I'll figure it all out as I go. but it's still a long way out yet. It's still in the designing process right now. I have the story down, the characters, environments, and everything like that, but I haven't so much as drawn a page with completed panels yet. So it's still a ways out. Don't get too excited if you even are. It's just a project that I intend to be doing. How do my shorts suddenly change from 14 views to 64 in like a minute? It's surprising what a shout out can do, Steph. Kit Kat Catsy, hey Gemini, I'm here now. I'm sorry I'm late. It's good to see you streaming again. How are you, my friend? What new chapter DLCs have you been working on doing lately? I've actually been working on chapter 5 recently, and I've hit a little bit of a brick wall because there is a creature concept in it that I made up. It's really cool, but I do not have professional artwork done of it, so I'm unable to edit and animate it into the video because my artist is not currently available. And until she is, because she's undergoing some experience, some IRL problems that I have no business discussing here, but she's unable to do the work, and until she is, I'm not going to be able to complete my video. So it's kind of on the back burner. It's on standby. It is in progress. It's just being slow. But I also don't want to put any pressure on my artist, given that I understand that her personal problems are number one, none of my business, and number two, they will be prioritized over the work that I'm having her do. So just bear with me for that one, if you would. Wait a sec, Gemini, did you sub? No way. Yes, of course I subbed. I believe in supporting people, brother. Thinking about making a comic book style video depicting the Necropolis's past. That JKS, that would be awesome. I would love to see that in your style. Kind of happy Game Theory didn't make theories on this, seeing as everyone will take what they say is true and challenge it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is something else that happens. And to be fair, I like the idea of being able to just play with this franchise, making stuff up, because the majority of my theories, I will speculate on a whole bunch of things, but I don't necessarily believe wholeheartedly that they're true. They're just fun to think about. Please think of making us Sounds of Nightmares too. I am. Shh. I use your theory to get hit on game theory. Yeah, exactly. We're not about that. If you need any help with your artwork on your comics or stuff, I'd love to help you with them. I'd be honoured. Kit Kat Catsy, feel free to send some of your artwork to my email address because I'd love to see your work. I actually love talking to the artists in this community because some of your work is absolutely incredible. In fact, Faceless Art is somebody that's been featured on the channel before. She does incredible artwork all the time and often shares it with me, and it has been featured in my videos in the past. Also, the Overman. I've worked closely with the Overman on a project before that was absolutely dope. It was just a little bit of fun that we were doing together, just I asked him what he thought of this and we bounced around a couple of ideas. But the Overman is another one whose work you'll have seen recently, I'm sure. Absolutely phenomenal artist. But yeah, Kit Kat Catsy, if you would like to, please feel free to send Little Nightmares artwork to my email address because I'd love to check that out. Yeah, hardcover. I always preferred the hardcover because it lasts longer. I'm all for soft cover as well. I could probably make that. Maybe if it's cheaper, that might be the only option. Maybe if it costs loads less to get soft cover ones, then maybe I'll make a bulk batch or something like that, and then do a mass giveaway or something. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of logistics and stuff that are going to come into play when it comes to these. Mostly it's just going to be, I want to get something that I created myself that I'm able to put online for you guys to enjoy, and then give me feedback and let me know what you think of it. It's not really something that I intend to create to this, like the same as the teacher portrait I'm having made. Once you guys see it, like it might be something that you would like to have yourself, but it's something that I've had to like commission to have made specifically. It's not going to be something that I've made myself. It's like I hired somebody who's incredible woodwork artist who's going to make the frame exactly for me, and then a watercolor painter that lives in the town where I live, who's going to paint me like a full high definition copy of that picture, because there's no way you can take that picture, like screenshot it and blow it up and still have it in high enough resolution to put in a picture that big. So I'm going to have them actually draw the picture exactly as it's depicted in the game, which is going to be really hard to do, and it will cost as well, as it should. Propimol is your artist, right? She's a literal lecturer. Yeah, that's right. Propimol is my artist, Scribbles. You're exactly right. Propimol has been responsible for all of the artwork that I've featured as far as monsters are concerned when it comes to my games. My videos regarding the games. Yeah, Propimol is absolutely synonymous with the franchise. Chances are, if you've seen Little Nightmares fan art, you've seen Propimol's work at one point or another. She's done hundreds of pictures. Every single one of them is incredible. She's made up her own OCs, her own monsters, her own environments, her own comic strips. She's absolutely incredible, a phenomenal artist, and she's done very, very well. And she's done a lot of work for me. I've been really lucky to work with her. I might scamper through a speed run again in 2 days' time. I wish I could say that with that amount of confidence. If I try to scamper through a speed run, I'll get swallowed by a leech. Tell us her personal problems. Spill the juice. No, absolutely not. I know, right? Oh wow, this guy. Oh yeah, Matt Pat hated Little Nightmares. Yeah, he didn't like it, did he? I feel like he missed the point a little bit with it. It was a terrible shame, because I don't think he really saw the potential in it. I think there was just, it rubbed him up the wrong way, and it just didn't go down well, which was an absolute pity, because Matt Pat, I love Matt Pat. I think he's incredible. I think the whole team, Team Theorists, are just incredible people. They do fantastic work, and I only discovered that it's weird because the first Matt Pat video I ever watched was his departure. It was his goodbye video. I'd heard of Matt Pat. Obviously, Matt Pat is a YouTube legend, especially considering it's... But I've only been a theorist for a year. And it was shortly after, it was about 6 months into like theorizing, and I was looking up like Little Nightmares theories, you know, to try and substantiate, like get evidence for myself. But also, when I think of a theory, I have to check to make sure nobody's done it before. So if I think, you know, like I want to write the pseudonym theory, and I want to base it entirely on the characters' names and the namesakes and things like that, and what I know about the nowhere, I have to check that nobody beat me to it, because otherwise it's going to look like I plagiarized it. If somebody's already came up with the theory, then there's no point in me publishing it, because they'll be like, oh, you just stole that from Spill the Theories, or you just stole that from It's Just Jord, or you just stole that from Game Theory. And that's how it would look whether I thought of it or not. So it's important that I look this stuff up, and upon doing that, I came across the channel Game Theory, or the Game Theorists, and I found Matt Pat saying goodbye, and I was like, oh, that's Matt Pat. And then it was a really tearful video of him saying goodbye, and I was like, oh, no way, because he's left YouTube, he's retired to spend time with his baby and everything, which is wonderful, and that's exactly what I would do in his position. But since then, I've become a fan of his work. I subscribed to all the channels, I watched all the videos and stuff, and I learned about his thoughts of Little Nightmares and everything, and I was disappointed, but it is what it is. It's not for everybody. If it was, it would be FNAF. Yeah, watching him do the hospital demo, it grates on me, because I see the potential and he didn't, and he just, like I say, I think he missed the point a little bit. I feel like and he went on to explain that it was just like, you know, well, what more is there to know? He said that Super Horror Bro Mike has pretty much covered everything, like anything that he would have said about Little Nightmares. Super Horror Bro Mike has covered in his videos anyway, so what's the point? And he just kind of poo-pooed it, like dismissed it a little bit, and I was like, it was disappointing, but I suppose it left some room for us smaller theorists to make some kind of name for ourselves. Regarding why the prison warden and the detective will be the same person is because the nowhere only manifests the detective's underlying wicked side, all her flaws distilled into a single resident. Do you think the resident, or do you think the prison as well? Because the prison could be like an extension of the warden, do you think? Kit Kat Catsy, I'll type it in again. I'll put it in there. If you scroll up, it should still be in the chat, but just in case it's not, that is my email address for the channel. And if you send artwork to that, just send it with the with context, so that I know, because I get loads of emails, most of them are spam. But if you just send me an email with the subject title fan art or artwork or something, just so that I know what it is, or like Little Nightmare. In fact, title it Little Nightmares fan art, because as soon as I see the words Little Nightmares, I'll jump on it and I'll like, what's this? I'll like priority open it. So yeah, please feel free to send your work, and if you want to write me a message in there, let me know that it's you and things like that. I'd love to hear from you and see your work. Feel free to do that. That email address is right there. Hopefully it's in the chat. If you guys can't see that email address, it is available on the About page. If you just click on my channel and then click About, or like scroll down. I don't know exactly how it works now, but yeah. Email me as you please. This game is so unclear, guys. Yes, Matt. That's it, because it's supposed to be, my brother. It's supposed to be unclear. It's supposed to be ambiguous. It's supposed to keep you in the dark. This is the point. It's not supposed to hold your hand. That's what 6 is for. Why are we still here? Just the sofa. Yeah, I know, man. I know. Only done one Little Nightmares picture so far, but I can do more. That's absolutely fine, Catsy. No problem at all. I'd love to see the one that you've done. If you want to send me other work so that I can get an idea of your style, feel free. Also, if you want a recommendation from me, I would love to see you draw my OC character. I have an OC character called Legion. And if you go into my community posts and you scroll down a little ways, I posted a picture of Legion on there and I challenged my viewers to draw him. In fact, if you watch the fan art video, you'll get to see everybody's different interpretations of different pictures that they drew. I've got like tons and tons of fan art of my OC character that I absolutely love, and they make me really happy. So if you wanted to draw Legion for me, that would really, really make my day. Willingly ignoring the fact that her work directly sustains a corrupt prison industrial complex. I like that. Hence the nun's dress in the prison ward on the prison warden, symbolizing the detective's self-righteous mentality. I like this a lot. You really put this into consideration and drawn a lot of perspective from it. I like this. I really do hope there is a tie-in somewhere to that. I really do. I think you're onto something there. Hey, Jacob says, hey, I'm thinking maybe in the future when I'm out of school I may create my own Little Nightmares cartoon and post it on YouTube. It would have my story. Do you want to hear it, little ones? Yeah, of course we do, Jacob. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. We want to hear your story. I do. Gemini, can you do an on-stream reaction to weapons teaser? I might just do that, actually. I might just do that. Explains why the clock tower is a prison and the workers could possibly symbolize the kids that a detective failed to save. They appear like shadows because the detective keeps them locked in the dark recesses of her mind where they linger like parasites. You should stop writing and you should use this as a script for a theory video, and you should make a video and we should watch it. Thus, the detective being the prison warden, emphasizing the motif of duality. Yeah, absolutely. As do a lot of things within the nowhere. I love that. I absolutely love it. That's a great job. I really, honestly, I wasn't even joking then. You should make that into a video. You really should. That'd get views. Scribbles, if we get an eye on the warden's neck, then I fully believe the warden detective. Yeah, absolutely. That's something that we should look out for. FNAF was cryptic, so was Little Nightmares. Yeah, right. If we want to send fan art, can we send more than one? But yeah, send as many as you like, Maya. As many pictures as you like. Absolutely fine. I love to see the fan art. I might not feature all of it on the channel, but I'll definitely look through it all. I can guarantee you 100% I will see it. It's just I get a lot of it as well, and I have to condense it, so it's like, it's not even that I necessarily pick my favourites. It's just I'll pick as many as I can fit into a 20-minute period or whatever, because if I was to show it all, the video, if I was to show it all and talk about it and give each piece the respect it deserves, it would take me literally hours to get through the video. Particularly if I did it live. I checked Little Nightmares 3's Insta just because I felt like they might have posted something. I don't know why I felt like they would have posted something, but they didn't. No, not yet, but in 2 days' time, it's Six's birthday. The 28th of April is the Little Nightmares anniversary. It's Little Nightmares' 8th anniversary in 2 days' time. And I'm thinking about going live again and doing something similar to this. The reason I've gone live today and I'm doing them so close together is because I know that the majority of my audience aren't available on Mondays. People work, people have school, people have university studies, people have other commitments. Absolutely fine, totally understandable, and I respect it all the way to the earth and back. To the moon and back, sorry. We're on Earth, right? But, yeah, but I understand that not a lot of people would be able to make it for that stream, so I wanted to give you guys opportunity to talk with me and discuss with me the same way I normally do live streams. And then 28th of April is the 8th anniversary of Little Nightmares 1's release, and I will be celebrating that with live stream, playing Little Nightmares 1 as is expected. And I think there will be a post. I don't think there's going to be a demo launch, Steph. I don't. June 6th will be the Summer Game Fest trailer with release date. I sincerely hope you're right. I genuinely do. I really, really do hope you're right. But I don't think you are. Also, yeah, happy birthday. Well, happy early birthday, Kit Kat Catsy. So it's going to be Six's birthday, then your birthday. And yeah, if you guys can make it, it would be awesome to see you. Right. What do you say, guys? What do you say? Should I do a random hard to the core attempt right now before I go? Just one attempt. I'll play until I die, which will be fast. And then I'll call it a night and wrap it up. What do we say, guys? In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to end that poll right there. I appreciate each of you there. What do we think? Characters are the most important thing to the majority of the Little Nightmares community so far. Not to worry at all. Characters are a very, very valuable part. And this poll is important to me because, like I say, I'm writing these stories of my own and I want to know which factors are really important to you guys, because you guys are going to be the people that consume it. So I'm just going to put up one more poll. I'm just going to say to the core right here, right now. Start poll. I think you should debate the canonicity of Roger X. Sheffield. Oh, no. Absolutely not, Scribbles. I want nothing to do with that. Right. And I am just going to run to the bathroom one more time because that has gone all the way through me. I do apologise, but I'll give you guys a minute to get voting. Let me know if you want me to attempt a hard to the core run really fast before I go, because we do not have much longer left. I was only intending to stream for 2 hours. It's been 2 hours and 5 minutes so far. So I'm going to let you guys vote on that. I'll run to the bathroom. I'll come back in a minute, and then once everybody's had their votes, I will either play it or not play it, depending on what you guys have voted for. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. 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 I knew it was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen, but that's absolutely fine. No problem. No problem. No problem. Right. Let me just fire up the game. Look at you guys already predicting where. Yeah, that's fair actually. You guys make some predictions. Where am I gonna die? At which point am I gonna die during this game? Hey, Rowdy Rex, how you doing? Just dropped in. How are you? You're here just in time to see me fail miserably at the Hard to the Core challenge on Little Nightmares 1. I'm just going to attempt it one time before I go, because, like I say, I've been streaming for a little while now. But yeah, I am actually gonna play the game. Now, the only negative to doing this right here, right now, is the fact that I am not going to be able to read chat very well while I do this, so you're going to have to bear with me, because I haven't set up with this in mind today, and I'm not sure like how clear it's going to be for you, and if you're going to be able to see it all. But if I do this, there you go. Right, okay. Can everybody see the Little Nightmares game? Can you see? Can you hear? Is everything clear to you? No, try it 50 times. No, I'm going to try it once. You can do it, Gem. I believe in you. Do your best. I'll certainly try for you guys. Now, like I said, I don't play this game very much, surprisingly. Farthest I died is in Chef Chase. Underestimated the speed. Yeah, chefs are way faster than you think they're going to be. Oh, okay. You guys can see everything, and everything is quite... Alright, lovely. New game. Empty. So, the stipulations of this this challenge is that you have to beat the game in under an hour without dying. Which some people think is really, really easy. Other people think is exceedingly difficult. I personally find it really hard. I have done it before. I've in fact got all the achievements on this game, so you'll notice that if I do get any achievements as we go, I'm not going to get... Let's go get some gameplay. The notorious Bass is in the building. What's up, big guy? How's it going, my brother? It's great to see you in the chat. You're just in time to watch me attempt the hard to the core challenge, which begins as soon as I'm in control of my character. So forgive me if I fail miserably here, but we're in control, so I'm gonna start ignoring you guys as of now, at least partially. Again, not intentionally at all, and it's just that this is going to take a whole lot of concentration. But hello, Notorious Bass, it's great to see you in the chat. I'm really glad you can make it, my brother. And yeah, also forgive my unyielding rage if anything goes even remotely wrong with this little run, because it's gonna really upset me if it does. I don't like, just like that, like I just ran straight into that banister accidentally. Well, see me doing the occasional little jumpy jump because it actually speeds up your travel slightly. But there you go. Right. Oh, it's the hanging man's room. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo. No, screwed that up straight away. La 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 la. There you go. Speedrun. Ha. Speedrun. Ha. Speedrun. Ha. Look at my speedy little legs. Bye-bye, Gnomey one. Yeah, I won't be hugging any gnomes either because they'll just take up way too much time. Allah. You're so cooked. Yeah, I know, right? I don't stand a snowball's chance in hell of getting this done. But it's just a bit of fun that I thought I would attempt while you guys are here for your entertainment. Oh, immediately making rookie errors all over the place. I also forgot about the stamina bar. Oh. Okay. Yo! You want to know something really special? That is the first time ever in my entire life that I've died to a leech. Ever. Didn't even do it on purpose. I literally didn't think I could get caught. Bros die in chapter 1, no joke. I legitimately did as well, detective. You're absolutely right. 100% I did. You know what? I'm gonna have to try again, aren't I? I'm gonna have to try again. Yeah, because I can't leave it like that. I can't be that bad, surely. Yeah, Nightmare jinxed it. I blame you. Yeah, prophesized it straight away. Right, that was humiliating, but that was a warm-up. Gamer mode activated. Eat, sleep, game, repeat. Move my pillow out to the side so I can get my proper gamer lean in. Yeah, I agree, Kit Kat Catsy. You can bunny hop. Yeah. Leech death. Yeah, exactly. Leech death. I cannot believe I leech death. First time ever. Worst game ever. I don't know. Yeah. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? This time with more gusto. Who said fall off stairs? That's probably what's gonna happen next. Like I said, be careful. Yeah, that will be me. Also, I'm really sorry if I'm missing a lot of chat, guys. I know that a lot of you are probably talking to me right now and I'm just not seeing it, but it's because, like, I don't want another embarrassing death. I also don't feel like I can blame you for my suck. Oh, look at how tired she is. I didn't realise, you know, when you're playing it casually, you don't really think about the stamina bar. It's not a thing. It's not important, unless you're playing it, you know, for speed. Oh, I screwed it up again. Yep. Oh, come on. Right, one more try and I'm pulling the chair. Nah, pull the chair then. Fuck it. You see, you can already tell I'm getting mad because when I learned to do that, I could do it every time without fail. Now that I'm trying to do it in front of people, it's just like, nope, you have no balance, you have no skills. But oh well. I actually do believe this trophy, Hard to the Core, is 100% possible to get without like speedrun strats or anything. Like, I don't think you need any like skips or resets or anything particularly special to do it. I think you can just play the game normally and get it, but like you just get it, like you only just scrape by. At least I think so. I know, right? Yeah, it's got that much fuel. Oh! Right. No leech death. There you go. If I just fall off the edge now, that's just gonna... Wouldn't that be the icing on the cake? That'd be a treat for everybody if I just fall off this structure now. Ooh, the power of the leech compels you. Should we? Good old Roger. Look at him just up there rogering around under the all-seeing eye and not turning to stone. Anyone would think he belongs here. Okay. Whoops. Squeeze in here. Oh, no, no. Oh. Jump. Run! Just bypass this entire room. There are a couple of jumps in there for laugh. I felt way closer than it should have. Dodger the Roger. I feel like I'm moving slow. I suppose everything feels slow when you're trying to go quickly. Yeah. I think a mistake a lot of people make, myself included, I'm actually using myself as the example here, is that you think that you're running out of time like constantly. You know, it's like, it's really intimidating. No, no. Bypassed. Don't hold sprint when you run. What? Don't hold sprint when I run? Then how am I supposed to sprint? Okay, there's something you can do here where you trip. Oh, there's a trip technique here as well where you can skip these cutscenes. Okay, if I'm gonna just hold the ledges every time. Yeah, so the ledges you can just sort of like you can get to this point and then hop and pull. There you go. And you miss that ledge. And then this one you want, don't you? Because you need the cutscene. So just like as quick as possible, really. See you later, Jacob. No worries. Enjoy your day. Thanks very much for coming in. You were proing this. I'm really not. Like I've seen people do it because one of my subscribers actually has the world record for the speed run, but I've never tried to replicate it. I've done a couple of the strats, as you can see. Like some of this stuff is practiced, where I've done it before just to see if it works. You know, there's some stuff that I thought was interesting. I'm like, oh, that's a cool technique. I'll give that a try. You know, so I attempt stuff, but I've never really gone at this and give it like the old college try, as it were, you know, see how fast I can do it. I've never needed to because, like I say, I got the hard to the core achievement on like my third attempt, just by accident. I didn't even mean to. I wasn't aiming for it or anything. I didn't expect to get it. I didn't even know what it was when I got it. It just like, oh, you know, I accidentally got it. I just had like a really good playthrough one time, just completely unintentionally. I can't remember the name. But they have it, or at least they did have, like 6 months ago or whenever it was when I last actually checked. There is a bit here that I'm not going to attempt, where if you kill the power, you can just go right again, and then essentially like fall to like a safe space and make your way back, and it cuts out practically all of this section, but I've never been able to do it, and I did try a couple of times. You can go back right and try to navigate your way back down, but I've never been able to do it, so I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying on stream, because this is like a legit attempt now. I am like really actually trying. Found a way to remove stamina. Well, that sounds helpful. I'm not going to utilize it though, because I don't want to like break the game or anything like that. Oop. Don't get another leech death for crying out loud. I think I can be okay with losing to like the residents, but leech death and falling will just upset me. Free. Oh no, way too fatigued. Barely made that. Catch your breath, 6. You're gonna need it, kiddo. Whee. Whee. Gnomes! Be my friend. Hug me. Relieve me of this pressure. I knew you're a legend. Don't tell me otherwise. It doesn't break the game. Oh, well. Maybe I'll try. I won't try it this time, Step, but bear it in mind for future runs. Feel free to drop it in the comment section and let me know how to do it, because it is something that I probably would utilize, but I also don't know if it would count, you know, like if I was trying to do a legitimate speed run, because I would like my attempt to be legit. The last thing I want is to work hard on a video getting something done, like, you know, it's like, I'll do a challenge for you guys, and I do it, and then the comment section is just full of people going, yeah, well, you cheated because, you know. Bloop. Oh, missed. Go, 6. Go, squeeze. Awesome wallpaperness. Come on. Come on. I know you can get through that gap. I know you can. Go, little lady. Minute lady. Yeah, I'm wearing the lady mask also. I thought it was cool. Oh, that door sounded a bit broken. Yeah, what do you guys think of the lady mask? Spooky. Do you think there's a deeper meaning behind it? Or no? Whoop. Hello. Hello, audience. Hello, Gem. Hi. Oh. Where is it? Hi. Just perfect room. It's a glitch, so it counts. Interesting. Okay. There's actually a part here, isn't there, where you can, like, rip? No, never mind. I always fail the skips, you know, the hunger skips, because I can never remember what lines they're on. But I know there is a way to do it where you can, like, I can only do it on keyboard, but if you get to a certain point, oh, and I thought it was the next line across. But yeah, either way, I'm not doing very well with skipping the hunger cutscenes. But again, the achievement can be got with them. I just heard a voice. Needs to disinfect this toilet. No, I'm not a speedrunner either. Okay, right. We're getting somewhere, guys. We're getting somewhere. We've made minor progress. No. Oh, way up, Roger. It's curious, isn't it? Makes you wonder how many children are actually in the nowhere. What? Go, 6, go. Shoot. I always forget what I'm in the middle of as well. I just start running in one direction and I'm like, whoop, wait, nope, not that way. I also know that this bit can be done faster. But I absolutely refuse to get crushed by that door because that'll wind me up so badly. Yeah, bye 7. Bye RK. Okay, let's make short work of this part. Yeah. Get up there, woman. Yeah. Smooth. Dooby-dooby-doo. Dooby-dooby-doo. Thick. Oh, no. Okay. Get out of the shoes. Also, if you guys are checking out the Overman's channel to watch his latest animation, you should also look at his theory videos on who the hanging man is, but also who the shoe monster is, because he drew up some really, really cool concepts for what this creature could be. I won't spoil them, but I really think you should check it out because it was dope. Run! Slide! Jump! 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 You should stop there, and I'm just gonna might hide in this little box and just stay there for a little while. You're on 15 minutes 37. Yeah, those of you guys that are like absolute experts at this game will be noticing a lot of like sloppy errors that I make. I've also heard that it's a lot easier to play on the keyboard, on a keypad, than it is to play with the controller. I'm not sure how true that is. Like, there's one here where you can legit, like, if you jump straight on the monkey, it just drops you through without having to pull that box. But if you don't hit it first time, there's not really much point in the skip at all. Also, that sack is moving. You can't see it behind my head, but that sack up there is moving. Yeah, jump on the monkey and it just drops you straight through, which is nice if I can pull it off. Yeah. I thought there was a Pokeball on there for a second. Started to get my universes crossed. Grr, I thought I got glitched in then. Could have been worse, eh? Yeah, it could have gnomes in it. It looks distinctly more person-shaped, but it could very well be gnomes, for all I know. Oh, splat. Oh, I love the designs in the mall. Also, I learned something interesting about the mirrors. Oh, it's really cool. I think you guys would be interested in. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. Oh, no, why? Oh, I didn't think he could hear me when he was on the way down. I've done that dozens of times as well, where you're like, if you get out fast enough, you just take a shoe before he hits the ground. And as long as you're crouching, he doesn't notice. But never mind, I screwed it up. I should have been a little bit more patient. But that's just another example of what impatience does for you on these kind of runs. But never mind, it is what it is. I attempted it, and honestly, I was out of time like half an hour ago. I can justify a Roger death. I don't mind a Roger death. It's okay. It is what it is. I had a lot of fun. It was just a random attempt, like I say. I was just having a bit of fun, having a little play and see what happens. Might actually make it. Not a chance. Not a chance. But yeah, just something that was there. You know, like I feel like I was making good time. Restart for the checkpoint next time before he actually grabs you. Does that count? Because I kind of feel like, I don't know if I'm just being overly critical, but I feel like utilizing that would be cheating, kind of. I don't know. Because like I said, I've already got the trophy. I don't need the trophy. I want to get better at the game. Like, I don't want to get to a point where I can manipulate the game into making it easier for me. I want to get so good at the game that they can't kill me. Or that I can just guarantee do it every time. Where it's like, can you get hard to the core? I'm just like, yeah, give it here. And literally just do it right there in front of everybody. But either way, it is what it is. Let me just try this part one more time, because I need to see if I see what my mistake was with Roger here. Because normally I just go straight over here, I grab a shoe. Oh no. No! I tried to throw the shoe at him. I've done it so many times. I wonder what I'm doing differently. Let's try this. Because I'm not sure what I'm like every time I've tried it up until this point. This isn't an attempt, by the way, guys. I am gonna quit. I'm just... Oh, there you go. That's enough. The door just went, no. So, yeah. Anyways, let me just lose my little cam, bring up my big cam and stuff while I say thank you and goodbye. Can exit. And that'll do. Alright then, guys. Speedrunning techniques feel like borderline cheating. Sometimes they do. Yeah, sometimes they do. But that's the thing. I understand that they need to be used, and that's how people get so fast. And if anything, the speedrunning community, it's hard. Like, doing speedruns is hard. I find these speedrun strats really difficult. If I wasn't trying to play so fast, I'd probably do way better. In fact, I'd definitely do way better. I know that I can 100%, I can definitely complete the game without dying. Easily. 100% easily. The reason I'm dying is because I'm trying to go quickly. And there's some parts where you just don't need to. But like, because the game can be done in about half an hour. You can do it in about 30 minutes. But I think the best I ever did it in was like 46. And that was dying once. So it is very, very difficult to speedrun, and I think it puts a lot of pressure on you where you think you have to be moving super fast in areas where you don't, like that, for instance. Oh yeah, 1 second. Yeah, let me just find a weapons teaser. Weapons. Right, where is this? Step. It's not a step. Where is it? Ah, there you go. Right. Okay, 1 second. Let me just turn off the background. Camera off. Little camera on. There we go. Right, I've lost chat again, by the way, guys. So just so you know, I'm not being ignorant. There you go. There, chat's back. The game is glitchy as hell. You're probably doing it correct. But yeah, I also know that the game is like mega janky. So there's like, sometimes it just like computer says no, and you just can't do it. But I do want to get better, because I feel like somebody is intrinsically linked with the franchises I've become. Like, my channel is synonymous with Little Nightmares now. It's like associated. All of you guys associate me with Little Nightmares. I am a gaming channel, or at least I was. But yeah, so here I am on Step's channel. Step has 1.2k subscribers, deserved considerably more. And yeah, let's have a little look. So I'm so happy it's releasing early in cinemas. August 8th, only 3 months. Right, let's see what Weapons is about. Let me see. Click. Why can't I hear? Oh, there you go. 1 second, I'm just going to start again with the sound playing. Music's great. Oh, is this just the music version? Am I watching the wrong thing? I'm expecting to be jump scared is the thing. Very little thing. Ooh. That's intriguing. Okay, let's see. I'm sure you had something else on Weapons in here. Also, little name weapons, little nightmares, little nightmares, little nightmares, little nightmares, little nightmares. You got a lot of little nightmares. That's really intriguing. I don't know what the 17's about. In fact, I didn't even read if there was a description. Oh, because this doesn't let me, that's why. Does it? Ah, description. There isn't one. But very ambient Step, very ambient, very peculiar, very perplexing. Really strange. It's got me thinking now because this whole thing is just really unsettling. I don't know why. It's just, it doesn't belong, does it? Small child outside in the dark, skipping along. I don't know. There's something I don't like about that. There's a whole lot I do like about it, don't get me wrong. What if I type in Weapons teaser? Ah, there you go.
Mr. Graff.
This is to be watched.
Mr. Graff, I can understand your passion, and I don't mind having these conversations with you because, God forbid, if it was my child, I'd be demanding answers too. Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it.
What do you see that I don't?
Oh, I hate it so much. Yes. Ooh. Bro. That gave me chills. I really like this. Ooh. That run is awful. That's so eerie and creepy and spooky, and I love every bit of it. Absolutely excellent. Thank you for sharing that with us all, Step. I really, really appreciate it. Check the website in the end. I will, but for now, I absolutely have to go because I am completely out of time, and I promised that I would be on a phone call in the next 4 minutes. No, 6 minutes, so I have to get gone. But I really appreciate it, guys. This has been an amazing stream. I've had so much fun chilling. I really appreciate that, Step. That was a lot of fun to watch, and it's got me curious now. So, I'll say my goodbyes here. But thank you all so much for being here and theorising with me. I am going to put out another community post tomorrow just so that you all know what's going on. KitKat, I'll be sure to check out your artwork in my emails. Again, anybody that wants to send me fan art of Little Nightmares or of my OC character Legion or anything like that, please feel free to do so using the email address that's in the chat, and it's also available on my channel link, the about page on my channel thing. And that's that. But for now, thank you all so much for being here, and I'm going to get gone. Take care, everybody. And until next time, that's game over. See you on the 28th.